Hey guys. Hey. Wanted to jump on really quickly. We went live earlier today and we were talking about the Neptune. In that chat, we were chatting about how the sun is conjuncting Neptune today. By the way, in the backdrop, we have a binaural beat, just in case you're like, who's talking? It's a binaural beat. Yeah, it's a clearing frequency, but anyways, so I wanted to jump on because the energy has been kind of it's activated. We're gonna say it like that. And with the sun conjuncting Neptune, it was earlier in the day, yesterday, that we had that conjunction. However, as with most transits, and especially those with slower moving planets involved, and the sun is, yeah, it's not the slowest. It's definitely not a generational planet, right? But it's not as fast as, let's say, Mercury. Or definitely the moon. Obviously, the moon changing every few days. This transit will hold an influence with an orb, for some time. So it's not just yesterday. Yeah, the transit is going to be felt, in other words, most likely, beyond just, this just yesterday. So just so you know, as a heads up, the energy of this conjunction and thus the very strong Neptune energy is going to be for some time. So I wanted to jump on and see how you guys are doing with these energies as well, because it is a little bit of a weird energy space. And I was getting a few messages here. It's a little bit of like a restlessness, if I had to describe it in any kind of way, specifically. But in the sense of, we have been moving forward. Okay, we're talking about light workers here. We've been moving forward, doing a lot of clearing, and I'm kind of getting this energy of, things coming up, thrust around on here in this way on astral. And if it's a repetitive message for you, no problem, you can check out. But this is definitely a little bit of a warning for those who have been doing a lot of clearing. And the more clearing that you've been doing, in fact, ironically enough, okay, the more tests you're gonna see. So Spirit has wanted this message out here. Specifically, I'm feeling for those who are doing like really heavy levels of clearing and karmic clearing, because there may be things that you are clearing, definitely, and it's working, is what I'm hearing. I'm seeing lights going off across the way right then and there. Take it as you will, like outside the window. So, the testament to the spiritual work that you're doing will be seen by way of what it is that you do not encounter directly, but that you feel sort of, it's something that will be stimulated. So again, but indirectly. So, for example, okay, let's say that you've stopped talking to someone. Okay, let's say that you've decided to clear the energy and you've made a lot of progress in that space. And we're talking years worth of time, even. We're talking, especially even the last few months, especially. Whatever you've been so actively working on clearing, again, doing the shadow work with, and the energy work with, and especially once Jupiter left Aquarius and is now in Pisces. I feel like I'm talking to like a very specific group of viewers here. So again, if this message is like a little bit like not easily understood, however it is, if you're just feeling, it doesn't have to resonate, but I feel like if this is for you, you will know like exactly. Yeah, and so, and it's not like to say that, oh, this is like not good if it's not resonating with you, or if it is. Everyone is having certain activations at certain times, but there are definitely groups of people with certain, I'm also hearing talents and gifts that are being targeted at very particular times, but indirectly. And so let's explain that again a bit more. So let's say that you have been doing a lot of clearing here. Okay, yeah, and so pay attention to the last few months. What have you worked on to seriously get out of your aura and your energy field? We're exposing it, we're calling it out. You've cleared that. You've cleared whatever that is. Be it a friend, be it whatever it is, guys. Like, it could be a family member or interaction, whatever it is. You did a lot of work, and it took a lot of, you know, sustenance in that space and that, you know, period of connecting to your higher self. Yeah, to be very firm, okay, to be formally recognizing what doesn't serve you and what doesn't suit you, and you were focused on that. I'm hearing this so strongly. And yeah, so that's not changing. I'm getting from spirit, we've had this message here that, you know, you're definitely on your path. However, the things that you're clearing may not be okay listening to the things that you're also communicating, okay, of what you want on an energy plane. In other words, they're not ready to let you go. So yes, they're going to try and somehow wind back up in your life. Just as this is a bit of a warning, guys. Again, I feel like it's just for a very specific number of people, but I felt guided enough to go on live to just sort of mention this, because the whole night I'm like, I feel like there's more energy, and we are nearing this full moon in Virgo. We mentioned this in the astro chat where we talked about a bit of a warning as well with that, of people coming back who are not settled in their space, and yeah, they realize that you're not going to make it your problem. So let's clear the energy and ground. Oh, wow. Yeah. So, yeah, and it just reminds me of a little while back where there was a little bit of like a psychic attack thing that was going on, with certain, yeah, it was a certain group of light workers who were getting so-called this like weird ass vibe rolling through. And it works in sort of surges, and certain people, depending on your frequency, you'll be very much, let's see, sensitized to certain things and certain conversations. You'll be overhearing, in other words, and you're picking up the projected energy of others. So right now, this is projected energy central, given that we have so much Neptune going on. But it doesn't mean that you are not in the light. Okay, yeah. It doesn't mean that you are not in the light. This is a general video, though. It's open to the whole, let's say, public of YouTube. So, but know that if this resonates, it's going to be something you just really feel. So, yeah, with so much Neptune going on, though, and it's especially for those who have either a Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, or rising. I'm hearing especially rising in Pisces. Yeah, let's clear the energy around. You have people, let's clear it. Someone is definitely watching you, okay? Especially if you are, I'm hearing a tarot reader. I'm hearing, again, Lightworker, my nose going crazy right there. You have something that let's break it down, okay? You're here for a reason, and you are controversial. That's okay. Okay, yeah, no, it's okay, and yeah, you heard us. So there are people who are not liking that you are breaking boundaries, okay, even with your own shadow. Now, let's think about that. Why would they be triggered by you clearing your own karma? They need to find, yeah, they need to go, but you've made that distinction with where you're allowing them to live in your life physically. Maybe some of you have actually like closed doors and like moved out and like left the conversation. Oh wow, Venus and Pisces is exalted. You have a lot of Pisces. So yeah, I feel like it's no longer the physical interaction, it's more the energy. And I see a lot of like vampiric, clingy, sort of projected, repetitive conversations of people who do not have, okay, the bravery to continue on their path, and they're lost. So they're floating in ether, and they need to find their way. And this is sort of like a metaphor, we can say, as well, for those who you have made peace with in some sense and said, hey, it's kind of like over, this is the road, and we have to just kind of say that it like kind of, yeah, this is what we're doing. And so yeah, so, you know, I feel like you've told people how you felt, but it's almost like they won't let the conversation drop or go on an energetic level. No, we talked about this. Spirit gave the heads up. It was a few astro chats ago where they were saying like, yeah, let's clear. I'm seeing some dark energy here. Now that's okay. Let people have their mantra here like this, of telling themselves as well that it's your fault that blah blah and whatever it is. Okay, like, yeah, basically the fact that they are not willing to move on. Some of you, I'm seeing some people are not willing to admit that they don't want you to move on, but then you're tapping into their projected convo, their projected energy of, hey, wait, like, where are you going? And like all of that. So, no, yeah, so let's clear the ground. So, hey, Danger Cat. So, now at a certain point, though, okay, yeah, we called this out that you were on the plane, you've ascended, and I'm seeing this as a very specific group of, again, I'm hearing light workers, so specific, I don't know. It may even be based on life path, I'm hearing that at a certain point. Now, for some, though, it's happening in waves, so I see that there is a certain group of again, empaths as well, we can say, lightworkers who they've completely moved into a new frame, and you have certain people from the past who are not ready to take the journey, okay, in proportion to where you are headed to. So in other words, wherever you're going towards, whatever you're doing in your life now, okay, there is a sort of inverse to that. You've made a decision, and that has caused sort of karmic implication that they need to now fess up to and sort of work with and be honest with and be honest about. Yeah, I think a lot of this is indirectly, and a lot of this is not something necessarily that you've like had an outspoken communication about. Hence, yeah, the whole like, you know, the shadow and the fact that, yeah, you are actively wanting to transcend that, and that this energy entity experience, we'll say it in this way, is not willing to address. So it's kind of complicated, but I feel like, again, if this is your message, you'll know, you'll understand. Wow, right then we had 11 likes, 33 people in the room, and the time is 11:33 on the clock. For some of you here, yeah, no, there's a moment, okay, yeah, there's a moment. Some of you dealing with people who really want to be with you, but they're not being brave, and so, okay, moral of the story, you've made your decision, you're moving on, you're moving out. For some of you, you're doing what you need to do. And again, Spirit is giving me this image of someone who's like talking to you, but the irony is that they're literally not willing to actually talk to you to such a degree and to such a level. Their energy is actually holographically projecting to you. Okay, and it's almost like it can be very, very illusory, where to the point it's almost like you feel like then you're questioning your conversation with yourself. No, and I feel like I'm here from Spirit, like even if you wanted to like, you know, go back and like save them from their own karma, it's like you're too far out. You're already too far out. We've moved dimensions, I'm hearing this. So it's kind of like the vibe of like, yeah, no, we've moved through the portal. So doors closed, the plane has taken off. I'm seeing dark energy here. Like, it's all good. They need to see that. They need to see this, they need to feel this, and they need to understand that you're not going to be looking back. Okay, yeah. So this is something very, very specific, and again, like, this is specifically if you know, it's not an indication of where you're at, but it is definitely something that you're feeling, you're picking up on, and it's not your problem yet again. So as long as you're doing what you can do for yourself, and you're focused on that, yeah, I'm getting here that there are people, though, who feel this hostility energy. Okay, and you're here thinking, what could be so wrong about what I'm doing so right for myself? Yeah, so that's a great indication that what you're releasing, okay, you're meant to release that. Okay, if it is going to cause such a reaction in that person, for some of you, this person is just ignoring you, they're ghosting you. Let them do that. Let them do that very thing. Let them believe that that is the truth of the matter of what actually happens when one ghosts. Because when you avoid and you ghost, okay, that causes the inverse energy to basically be a sort of dispatch message from yourself in present to yourself in future of what you actually need to address, okay, in dual form is what I'm hearing. So not only is that moment in which you avoided that person, but also the moment in which you confront yourself in the avoidance with yourself. So this is major karma that those people, whoever it is, I'm hearing it in this way for some, they're going to have to confront with themselves. And for some of you, and there's a lot of energy, a lot of layers, but simply, if someone had ghosted or ignored you, okay, recently, years ago, whatever it is, and they're realizing you're moving on from that, and you're not giving a hot damn, okay, you're not giving a bloody F, okay, about that anymore. They're realizing it slowly but surely, okay, that, yeah, it was never about, for some of you I'm hearing winning you back, and it was never about them, okay, feeling victorious about whatever, okay, it's a huge illusion, basically. And they're embarrassed, they're embarrassed, and they're realizing that they cannot count on you. Yeah, this is the narcissistic reptilian frequency, right. So this is primarily about people who have been in the space of thinking that they would have you forever in their so-called proverbial clutches, and now that the guides and when it comes to activations have cleared, yes, clear, like, ooh, let's clear the energy and ground, did massive clearing to all the cores that did not serve the highest good. This was a few weeks ago. Okay, it's kind of like official. Okay, it's absolutely official, and there's no going back, and they are feeling that. Okay, they're having withdrawals. Those who were feeding on, okay, yes, the empathy that you at one point in time may have offered, even indirectly, even on astral, hence the clearing of the quartz. Okay, so now, oh yeah, so Danger Cat says, the whole music manipulation thing, I don't look at their social media anymore, helps a lot, hateful energy. So we were talking about that, like something about music, and like even like yeah, like programming thoughts with certain songs and all of that nonsense. Like, yeah, no, they're realizing that it got, return to sender, ciao, and so yeah, they're doing the cha-cha slide, but it's going in a downward spiral, and they're realizing that you're not going to be okay, so it's clear. Even looking back is what I'm hearing. So some people here, though, they may be in that space of like, but oh my god, like, wait, like, you're not gonna carry, like, my karma? It's like, no. Okay, yeah, this is it's a whole moment, like, you know, maybe even for some of you, it'll be, you know, it's a guilt trip, like, but wait, it's like, I'm like an Aries. It's like, I don't know what that's about. You guys are dealing with an Aries, or you were, or whatever it is. Now, I keep getting, though, that this person, whoever this is, this frequency at a certain point, is ironically not showing up. So this is the important thing to realize, and that's the thing about Neptune energy, is that you don't see it, but it's there. Okay, yeah, yes, and that's where it can get very tricky, because that's where you got to be one with yourself and say, oh no, I see it. It's not that I don't see it. Yeah, I see it, and it's there. So, you know, it's really about aligning with your personal sort of sense of self and acknowledging that you know what's best for you. I'm hearing that as well. Like, yeah, so this is not a season where we'll be having like outright like debates, and you know, this is more in the indirect realms of also really clearly observing what people really feel, but from a vantage point that doesn't actually so-called, I'm hearing walk forward, okay, and I'm hearing work, I'm hearing that as well, out, like someone may even tell you, oh yeah, bye, like I don't want to be involved with you, yeah, and you'll be having dreams about them. This is maybe not yet, you guys, let's clear it, I don't know, take it as you will. And hopefully it is not the case, but I feel like you already know what this is. Okay, so yeah, and it might have been from years ago. Maybe you finally cleared that cord, and they're just like, yeah, no kind of energy. Okay, yeah, because they're realizing you're gone from their life in that way, which is a good thing. Yeah, because they were vampiric towards you. Let's clear it, and that's just that. That's just that. And honestly, they may not have even realized it for themselves. If it was a truly Neptune, if they may have had an entity, and that's the energy living through them. So let's clear it. Don't get caught up in their drama on astral specifically. I don't see a lot of dramatic, you know, shadow, like directly confrontationally one-on-one here. It's more definitely on astral, and so your arsenal there with that is grounding, and your arsenal there with that is getting back to your root chakra energy, empowering that frequency space for yourself, and saying, okay, I feel that you're sad about this, I feel you're upset that we're not going to be working out, yeah, with that kind of dynamic. So, and that's okay, and I say it's okay, and I'm gonna step away. So be really firm, guys, be really brave here. But when it comes to the challenging of the paradigm of also how ancestrally you have been, let's say, so-called charging the conversation of empathy. So in the divine feminine energy, divine feminine does not mean being empathic to people who also do not hold empathy for you. Right. It has to go both ways. So enough of the whole like, I'm gonna feel you even though you're like totally draining me. None of that. I'm hearing it like this. And once we move through this Pisces season of 3-4 planets in Pisces, I believe we will have mastered that. So once we move into Aries season, we'll be really in the clear when it comes to how we carry ourselves. I'm hearing that as well with this particular energy space and signature gift. I'm hearing it like this. Let's clear. Yeah, absolutely. Those who have very strong water energies in terms of placements in your birth chart, this is the season where I feel like you'll realize more. Like we will realize, you know, absolutely your gifts and your talents associated with a divine energy space and your empathic abilities. But it's so much also a part of like, how do you take that ability of yours and actually implement it in such a way that serves you as well, right? Where you're like in control of how it is that you're challenging. Okay, yeah. That conversation where, let me say it like this, I'm seeing that actually until this point, it's almost as if there's been this sort of backstage conversation when it comes to your ability as an empath. Okay, and there's going to be this sort of illumination when it comes to how it is that you call upon your own talents in that space. To the point where you say openly, I'm not going to hold empathy for things that I don't have the ability to find a moment of resonation with. Okay, how do we say this? Yeah, for some of you, you may have to step away from people. It could be clients, even in industry for some of you. It doesn't matter what it is. The point is to not make excuses for why you should remain in a certain conversation if it cannot be reciprocated what you give to that person. So, and that may be very challenging, especially for others to hear, because, well, they may know you in that space and they may have known you for years. And it's like, yeah, so, but that doesn't mean that, yeah, you're not going to ascend and you're not going to realize that maybe your gifts would be best applied in another situation, in another point in time, maybe even with another person. You take it as you will and you have the right to move on. So some of you dealing with someone who's very clingy, has a very serious attachment, okay, but it's not anymore, guys. I feel like this has been massively cleared for the bulk and the majority. But Spirit is still allowing you to feel these projected energies so that you can understand the level and degree. It's like you got to see the flip. You got to see the flip side. Like in the sense I'm getting this from your guys. Like from the sense of, this is someone who maybe played it like they didn't even give a hot. Okay, they did not care. Okay, let's say that you guys weren't talking anymore. This is what I'm hearing. Yeah, so they left the situation. They totally, I'm hearing, departed the premises. Okay, I'm hearing that of the relationship. I'm even hearing that. And so for a period of time, for some of you, I'm seeing you were extremely empathic to them and you were feeling them. And it was this like, aw, like, okay, I'm in an understanding space. And even unconsciously giving your energy to that person, I'm hearing on astral. So right now, the contracts that are being resolved and rebalanced, recalibrated out in this month of March, specifically Pisces season, is what has been on astral imbalance. So this is the karmic energy of what is primarily happening in different dimensions as well, not just in 3D. So in other words, though, this is about entity clearing specifically. But for some, okay, furthermore, to go on from that, this month here specifically, right now, it's no longer a discussion. Again, I feel like we've moved into a completely different terrain. We have absolutely moved into another stage of ascension as a light worker, and especially if you're here at this video and you're feeling drawn to watch this video right here. There's a very specific tier, okay, of conversation you're now having with your guides, with the Galactic Federation, and you have a task that you're carrying out. You're very serious about that, okay, and you're definitely moving forward and moving on, and many of you will be meeting new people. Spirit wants this so clear. You hear that outside? Many people, you guys, my nose going crazy. Some of you are going to actually be launching into the stratosphere. You're going to, for some of you, be worldwide known pretty soon. Okay, for your gifts and your talents, and it can be in any industry, but Side note, okay, so I see this sort of double fusion energy taking place where you're about to just absolutely launch. You are going places, you guys. Like, oh my gosh. I'm here for some of you, I'm hearing sister. Some of you, you're going, in addition, you're going to be meeting all kinds of new people. Yes, absolutely, you're meeting new people romantically and otherwise, for matters of profession, for matters of your friendship circles, okay, and so on. So what we're looking at here is a new lifestyle completely, and you're moving in that direction. So the thing is, though, right now, is that Spirit is saying, great, you've moved on. You've cleared your cords, you made peace with the situation, whatever it was that was holding you. And you and I'm hearing your friends and your family, I'm hearing that as well. It could have been a karmic, again, ancestral energy here that you've been working on. Really hashing out, working on, exposing, I'm hearing that as well for some. I'm hearing family bloodline. Let's clear it. I'm hearing royal. I'm hearing that very strongly here. And this is a very personal conversation with yourself where you said, I'm doing my clearing and I'm doing my personal karmic work. So in doing that, okay, you've already done that. I hear it like this, actually. And again, there's no more real conversation in that space. However, okay, Spirit wants you to look at the skeletal sort of remains, the reverberation to that conversation that you had with yourself in the space of making a decision to ascend. And now what's happening is you're watching the butterfly effects and impact that others are sort of, how do we say, like engaging in, partaking in, okay? The reaction that is from your decisions. Again, I'm hearing to ascend from others. So the vantage point of others of your ascension, how other people are handling the fact that you have decided to ascend and clear the karma. I know it's a bit abstract. Maybe you want to watch this video a few times over. But yeah, it's a very, very particular energy, guys. I'm hearing warrior. I'm hearing warrior here. Some of you are tapping into your gifts from past lifetimes. This is huge. And these are going to be things that you just sort of wake up with, quite honestly. You're going to wake up and just have this like sort of, it feels like a magical ability where you just sort of tap into another realm of life entirely. And that obviously, right, there are forces here that, they are in a space of chaos where you are surrendering to your power and your highest self. So the conversation where you are having that moment of love for who you are, I'm hearing that as well. And so, well, let's go. Now, for some of you though, you're going to be sort of seeing, you know, the other side of the story. So let's say that someone was ignoring you, and let's say they really truly though wanted to talk to you and they weren't able to for whatever reason. Okay, let's say that someone, I'm going to paint the picture for some of you. You were dating, it's coming through, okay? You were dating someone, you were dealing with someone who wasn't available. Okay, for some of you, maybe it was a third-party situation. Maybe this person wasn't actually, okay, really, really available when they were dating you, or when you were, however, having some sort of experience, or whatever it is. Oh, let's clear the crown chakra and the third eye. Yeah, they were not really there for you. I hear that as well. They maybe never explained that to you or came to a point of honesty with you enough to say, hey, like, I'm sorry. Like, I kind of led you on. Or, hey, you know, it seems like it's just not going to work out given the sort of karmic energies that we're playing out right now and where I'm willing to stand in my own life with my karma. Okay, let's say that they weren't able to have that conversation with you of honesty. They still felt some sort of way about that, and they let that energy sort of simmer, is what I'm hearing, okay? They let that energy sort of sit within them, but not have a space of entirety of expression, of full expression. We've talked about this time and time again on the channel, that energy does not disappear. You cannot destroy energy. You can transmute it, but you cannot destroy it. So, yeah, in some way, shape, or form, okay, in transmutation, it's not about manipulation, that's very different. We're talking about transmutation in terms of ascending and transcending karma, okay, versus, yeah, if you ignore something, in other words, the energy does not disappear, the person does not disappear, the conversation does not disappear, okay, yeah, the karma does not disappear, ding, 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 okay, the energy is just redirected, so it will be obviously sort of cast, I'm hearing, at a later time. So how do we say this? Somebody dealing with some very heavy karma. I'm talking, this is generational energy. Okay, this is, I'm hearing in the bloodline. Yeah, I'm hearing family. Okay, this is generations. So again, if you're not really clicking with this message, it's probably not your message. I feel this is like, yeah, let's clear it. So no problem. Don't feel pressure. Yeah, yeah. But for some of you, Spirit now, though, is showing you, okay, what they were going through, but not willing to admit to you that they were experiencing. That doesn't mean that it is for you to do something about, okay, what was back there, and it doesn't mean that they are going to do something about that as well. It's not something anyone is going to do something about, it's just the karma that plays out. So in other words, they need to now naturally experience the unfolding of the karma. It's kind of like the pens are down, the papers are taken away, the test has been taken, okay, and the teacher's back in class. And we're going to be moving into the next lesson. We're showing up at the class that we're meant to be sitting in, okay? And so whether or not someone is there with you and however it works, it's like, it is what it is. So, you know, you may not be in the same conversation with that person anymore, and that's okay. That's okay. You can ascend, they can ascend, and if it so happens that you guys are in alignment again, it may happen, right? That you guys do align as well, I'm hearing it specifically in this way, in this particular lifetime, but that's not the point, right? The point is not communicating about also what went down. It's not about having that conversation, okay? I'm hearing any longer. Maybe you did at a certain point have that conversation, okay, for some of you. I'm hearing that. Maybe even indirectly on astral. I'm hearing you tolerated that form of conversation is what I'm hearing, actually. Yeah, so maybe some of you were talking in the dream state, you were talking on Aina. So now you deem that, I'm hearing irresponsible and actually inappropriate. So now from that point on though, okay, now, yeah, there's definitely a clearing. I'm hearing that. Yeah, there's a lot of heat here. Oh my god. Yeah, there's no more reacting. Yeah, there's no more reacting. So right now, there's no more conversing about that. Now it's like we're watching sort of the energy move through, given the decisions that have been made. So it's almost like I'm seeing like, let's go. Yeah, they feel guilty, guys. It's okay. No, it has to happen like that. I'm hearing that. That might be a very tough message. But it's like, yeah, no. Like, sometimes when the children cry, we have to ask, hey, what's wrong? Sometimes we need to ignore the tantrum that's taking place in that moment. Okay? Because that person needs to realize also that you're not there for that purpose of being empathic in a conditional connection, okay? Where they would not be empathic back in the same manner, reflectively with you. So they're learning their lesson, they're stomping their feet, and they're feeling really, really nasty right now for the way that they treated you. This is what I'm hearing. But that's the way it has to be. For now. Because that's part of the lesson. So be extremely firm, guys. Do not feel bad for the things you've cleared. Do not feel bad for the things that you've been actively eradicating even from your consciousness. Okay, yeah. That doesn't mean you don't love that person, but you're releasing the frequency. Possibly attached to that person, right, for some of you. And attached to that conversation, I'm hearing that. So, it's kind of like, yeah, in a way it's like we can talk, but just not here. Some of you, somebody wanted to maybe, yeah, be in a shadow space. Nah, let's clear it. And it can be a past life energy as well. So, now, in addition, okay, and out of curiosity, if this is resonating, wow, 3333 right there, feel free to hit the like button, yeah. You may come together in another point in time, right? But this is what's necessary for them to feel the startling, okay, of their ego, their shadow of like, oh my god, she's really letting me go, oh my god. Yeah, she's really letting you go. Absolutely, she is letting you go, because it's not you that you're stepping forward with, okay? Yeah, so now, but for some of you, this is more the, how do we say, the context, the way in which you're interacting in that space. And so it's important to say, as a divine feminine energy, that you are not obligated to hold light for things that you don't acknowledge within you. I hear it like that. So in other words, things that drain you. How do we say this? Some of you, I feel that you are actually like tarot readers. You are doing actual spiritual light work. Okay, you are, let's say, literally have clients, or however it is, whatever it may be for you, okay, yeah, and so, if something does not feel right, I'm hearing this for some of you, another message maybe, okay? Separate from matters of partnership, but definitely overlapping. I mean, yeah. Having, like, respect for your craft and respect for yourself and saying, I don't want to have anything to do with that. I'm hearing it like this. Like, maybe you know somebody is not in the light, but they want you... Oh, it's coming through. Maybe they want you to do some sort of whatever work for them. I'm hearing that. Some of you, I see someone telling you, like, oh, wow, you're so talented. Like, can you do XYZ? It's like, the answer is within you. It's not with them and how much also they're willing to pay you. This is for some of you, I'm hearing that. So, I don't know, that could be an extremely particular message for someone there. But, yeah, it's about the ethics and the morals of the conversation and about the love. So, you can love someone, but it's like, yeah, if they're not brave as well enough to be, yeah, really holding the conversation in the light space, then it's not, yeah, you're not obligated to also give someone, yeah, your attention, your love, and don't let someone guilt trip you and make you feel like, oh, you're not a real light, you're not a light worker because you're not taking me I'm hearing my case on. Fuck off. I'm hearing that. Yeah, no, you gotta tell them really clearly. And it doesn't make you any less of a divine feminine. This is for some. This is a definite message for someone. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because these entities and these frequencies will roll through. And if you are a tarot reader, you will have experienced this, I'm sure, at least once or twice. Okay, yeah. No, you're not... That's just... Yeah. So you don't have to connect to anyone who you feel uncomfortable with, that you feel uncomfortable with, that you feel is draining your force field. Okay? And don't let them make you feel, oh, but you're not... And that maybe is a metaphor, guys. What is really a tarot reading, right? Every interaction that you have with someone is a channeled space, ultimately. So, you do not have to interact with someone. Especially, like, let's say it's even just, like, a so-called friend. Like, somebody who wants to just talk about their problems with you and drain you. Okay? And, yeah, don't let them cast this weird energy. Do not... Oh, some of you, let's clear it. Don't let them cast an energy around you that you're not in the light with your own craft, or however it is, or that you're not empathic, really. If you... That's an ultimate narcissism energy. So, now, that might be something that, yeah, they're projecting as a thought. Okay, they're just maybe even, oh wow, they're not willing to, like, help me. Fuck off, I'm hearing that. Tell their entity to fuck off, this is what I'm hearing. No, that does not make you not divine. It's boundaries, exactly. Okay, so this is, like, yeah, startling, but it needs to be for some people. Yeah, some of you, like, let's backtrack the nose part. The third chakra. Like, it baffles me, like, why would someone, first of all, okay, want to force. Now, let me say it like this. I personally have gotten tarot readings before. I always make sure that the person doing the reading feels comfortable doing the reading. Okay? Yeah. That's a respected space. It's a sacred space. And you should never force someone, okay, to be in that space. Okay? So, this is a very, again, particular message, especially if you are a light worker. You should never feel guilty, okay, for communicating to someone that you do not feel comfortable opening that energy space. Okay? Yeah, that's no different from energy rape. Yeah. So we need to illuminate that. Let's clear it. Your spirit guides want you to be very brave with this. It does not make you not a light worker. Okay? Yeah. For you to say, I don't want to take on your karma, I'm hearing that as well. For some of you, maybe you feel like that's what someone is expecting of you to do. Let's clear it indirectly. Expecting of you to feel as well? No, I don't have to feel... Again, it could just be even like talking to your friend. It's like your friend wants to, like, even I'm hearing gossip, but you just don't resonate with whatever this is. Let's clear it. Like, you feel like they're, yeah, ew, goodbye, okay? Yeah. And I've had people, okay? I just closed the energy field down, and I've had people, they come back, this was years ago, oh my god. Years ago. You know, totally offended. It's like, why would you be offended, okay, if someone is not wanting to engage? Yeah, I wonder, that's your entity. It's your ego, specifically, but the entity is attaching to the ego. If you are without ego, then you will be without entity attachments, and that is the truth. Let's clear it. Let's clear, yeah, let's clear it. Oh, for some of you, this is a huge illusion, where people are also like, I need you to save me! I'm hearing that. Fuck off, I'm hearing that. No! That is an illusion! I don't know what that is about for everyone, but... Now, being firm and being brave and holding your warrior energy does not make you less divine. It does not make you not feminine. I'm hearing that. This is maybe even, like... I'm even seeing this as coming down to, like, partnership dynamics when it comes to like gender, okay? Where it's like, oh, I have to be subservient because Marcus is like male. I'm hearing that. What? Marcus can eat it, okay? I'm hearing that. Alone in the room and not have you serve it to him, and he's gonna be fine. Okay, let's clear the energy. For some of you, you're dealing with this is an ancient frequency, guys. This is, yeah, people who think they're kings and whatnot. I don't know. You're gonna take it as you will. They don't even, you guys, especially if they're not into energy work, they most likely will not be realizing that they're carrying this frequency of entitlement. Okay? Of like, I am a king though. Oh, they need to bow down to like my every, like, it's like, what? It's indirectly, guys. Like, the fact that you're not kissing their ass and taking on their karma and responding to their every wish and desire and their blah blahs, okay, is telling them very clearly that, yeah, you're not going to be, you know, holding up their conversation with their ego, okay? Yeah, and you have, yeah, so anyone who wants to make you feel bad for that, good. It's even more, you know, reason for you to feel good about the fact that you're releasing and dropping that. Yeah, let's clear the energy and ground. Let's clear the energy and ground. And it would, let's clear it. Do not feel, okay, intimidated by your own power. I'm hearing that, because that is exactly what's reflected in that moment. When you hold your power and people respond and react with their own shadow, that is the reflection of your power back to you. It's not that you're doing something wrong. Yeah, goodbye. No. You're unhappy that I'm in my power? Move on further back. You're good. You're good. Goodbye. Move on back. So for some of you, this is about being territorial with your light. Okay? And how you choose to hold it and how you choose to express it. Let's clear the energy and ground. Some people need to learn their lessons, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, exactly. Learn to be firm but kind about it. It's not about, like, you know, yeah, okay, kicking them, I'm hearing, in the throat with your knee. Oh, God. Okay, let's clear it, but I don't know, maybe it's past life energy, guys. I don't know what that's about, but, yeah, I mean, like, I'm seeing someone doing, like, a roundhouse kick. I'm seeing a geisha here. I'm seeing, like, warrior energy. Like, let's clear the root chakra, sacral chakra. This is something ancient, guys. This is ancient. I'm seeing something in Egypt. You take it as you will. Okay, I'm seeing something, yeah. I'm seeing gold, something with gold here. I'm seeing rice in a bowl. Take it as you will, it's clear. Yeah, so for some of you, yeah, this is about, I'm hearing the empire. It's like, I'm hearing statehood. I'm hearing, he thinks he can, like, have your hand in marriage no matter what. Yeah, this is, you guys, this is that energy. This is the frequency of, like, no, yeah, it's like, oh, they're entitled to you. Now, this is, though, the trouble in this case is that in the modern day, okay, they may not be even asserting that. Some people might be. Some people may honestly even truly, like, tell you, like, that, yeah, I mean, yeah, let's clear it, depending, okay, but, yeah, some people may, yeah, but some people, they may not, like, assert themselves as, like, you know, in this way towards you, but it's an energy you just pick up on. Like, I feel like he thinks that he's, like, the fucking pharaoh. It's like, you need to move on, King Tut. I'm hearing that, okay? Yeah, no, like, you need to, seriously, pack your luggage, I don't care what. I'm hearing that, like, you know, you think you're doing here in the palace with just your own personality in the room. I'm hearing that as well. Like, for some of you, let's clear it. They're thinking that you need a reason to kick them out of your space? Excuse me? What? What is going on? Oh my goodness. So, well, let's clear it. Tootsie. Golden says bye, Tootsie. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. No, yeah. It's the King's Hut frequency. But it's the wannabe, okay. I'm hearing woulda, coulda, shoulda, like, where King Tut is a metaphor, like, where possibly won't. King Tut is like, wow, I could have been like the true ass King Tut if I only were to treat her as the true queen. We're talking the frequency, not necessarily gender. Like, the divine feminine, the divine masculine. Like, if I were to honor, in other words, the divine feminine within myself as well. Okay, let's clear it. Then if I were to honor that, then I would have, yeah. If I would honor my own balance, then I would have, yeah, been able to have that beautiful conversation with that person. But I feel like this person's still not really seeing your worth, unfortunately. That's why Spirit has taken them out of your life. So until they're able to, yeah, Spirit is saying, if they do reappear in your life, that's when they are able to hold the value, okay, truly of you. So until then, they're going to be definitely rerouting. Spirit. Yeah, so for some of you, you have moved on, and there's this person, okay, is watching you move on, and they need to do the same though. Okay, not because they don't love you, but because they're realizing that you are responding to your needs in the relationship at this moment in time. And for many of you, I feel like this is, again, indirectly, like, it's their... I'm here for some of you, fear of their own karma, knowing that they're about to face their karma. We talked about this in the full moon in Virgo video, yeah. Where people know, like, they're about to, like, really get their karma. Okay, let's clear it. But they're not processing that in 3D. For many, I feel this is more like the conversation is happening on astral, even with the guides, where it's like, yeah, you may even be picking up, depending on how sensitive you are to the energies, you may be picking up on their conversations with their guides and hearing that. So I'm hearing nothing is inherently good, positive, negative, neutral. It just is what it is. It's the law of karma of what is going down, so... Everything that has a down has an up. Everything that has a positive has a negative, so-called. So there's no positive or negative, really. For some, though, like, I'm seeing that this person is definitely, like, processing on some level, though, that they feel... For some of you, they're afraid they're gonna lose you. And that you're, like, really moving on. Okay, yeah. Like, for real, on an energy plane. But the funny thing is that they're still processing it through the ego lens. So they're not ready to actually commit to the conversation in an extremely vulnerable way. As vulnerable as would be needed to truly reunite with you. So it's kind of like... You know when you try and, like, jump onto a ledge, but then you don't jump far enough? You are almost there, but then not enough, and, well, not enough is not enough, and you're just falling back. Or it's either you land on the level, or you don't. So it's like, they're kind of, like, almost, like, kind of there, kind of realizing that this is love. I'm hearing that as well. Oh my god. So what happens is they, like, kind of try to jump. And it's in that moment where they're sort of, like, jumping, and they kind of have this higher perspective for a moment, but not enough to actually make the shift. Enough, and this is a metaphor, hopefully this is not so abstract. I know a lot of this sounds kind of like a little bit abstract, but yeah, but I'm seeing it really clearly here for many, that this is like something that they need to have enough of a vibration, okay, a vibrational shift to be able to actually act towards what they feel. So there's a misalignment. And that's okay. And that's the part where we have to say, that's all right. I see that they're calling out. They really feel the karma of not being brave, not having been brave. And it's okay. Because that's how they're going to learn. Okay? Be it in this lifetime, be it this year, be it next week, be it however. The important thing is that you release and you let go as well so that they really can understand how to take the jump. Otherwise... If you're going to be turning around on the ledge that you're on, looking over your shoulder, back down from the ledge that you jumped up from, you're going to be wasting your time. There's a reason why you jumped. You're not jumping to look back. Let's clear it. So there's no feeling bad about that. Okay, right. So now, yeah, let's clear the energy. Some of you, they have family karma that they need to deal with. So they are dealing with things that they need to move through. Okay, really, like, with seriousness. And... So they need to address that really, like, with an open heart. I'm hearing with an open heart chakra. Maybe they have things that they need to heal, or even things that they need to communicate. I'm seeing a throat chakra question here as well. For some of you, it's like the feeling of like, dang, I still have homework. Like, can't hang out with, like, you know, I'm hearing 7, 7, I'm hearing 7, until, like, I can do my, like, clearing, like, damn, you know, I'm hearing that, like, specifically. Let's clear it. They have something they need to address. For some of you, they have a family, something about family. Let's clear it. I'm hearing what goes around comes around, and ironically enough, this is maybe someone who tells you, I don't believe in energy, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that, like, this and that and that. I don't know why we're zooming, okay, take it as you will. But then they're like, for some of you, like, they won't let you go. I'm hearing that as well. They won't let the conversation go. Like, can we get down to it? Can we get honest? Like, if someone is really not interested in you, and seriously, like, they've let go, you wouldn't be dreaming of them. You wouldn't be still feeling them in your aura, unless, well, this is a general video. You have to look at it in balance, like, psychologically, right, as well, mind, body, soul. People can definitely get into, like, an obsessed energy, which is a different, is like Pluto, but if you're having, like really, like, weird synchronicities and, like, weird energies of, like, seeing their name everywhere and, like, all that, it's not random. They're thinking about you. Definitely on some plane, there is something that is unresolved. There is something that, and that doesn't mean that it's a good thing, actually. It means that there's actually a blockage karmically, and the important thing is that the moment when you realize that is for you to actually sit back into your energy and to say, I don't need to make that right for you. So yeah, some of you definitely, this is a huge lesson. So maybe it's one of the biggest contracts here that is closing out actually during this time. For some of you, I'm seeing that. That's good. On the left side of the body. This is one of the main contracts. So, of letting people learn their own karma. Yeah. So, for some of you, I'm seeing that whoever this is, they need to address, and I feel like for some of you, they don't know that directly. Like they may not realize, like, karma, like, as karma, but they kind of know, like, oh, I gotta, like, hash this out. Otherwise, I'm not, like, free, you know? Energetically, like, to be with you. Like that. Like, deeply. So, let's clear it on the back. Wow. They got a lot of clearing to do, guys. Yeah. So, when it comes to, like, spirit work, it's not really about, like, the beauty pageant energy. It's not about, like, wow, are they, like, looking ready? It's like, no. Are they, like, seriously, like, on an energy plane, vibrationally calibrated to connect with you? Otherwise, yeah, spirit won't connect it. So that's the harsh but beautiful truth of, yeah, spirituality transcending this dimension of 3D on Earth. So, yeah. It's not, and so for some, they are going to take a few years here. This is for some of you. We're going to be honest. Like, this is going to be years of time, possibly. So maybe spirit wants to just kind of, like, give the energy heads up of, like, this is going to be a little bit of a while where they have to really take the fucking clothes off. For some of you, I'm hearing they're wearing a full-on cloak. You're dealing with someone who's they're cloaked. They're wearing a cloak. Depending on how much karma, what the history is, what the past life is. Maybe at some point we'll do a past life energy reading. Let's clear on the third eye. I've been feeling guided to do this. It may illuminate certain things here because you just can kind of see, like, not just what's happening right now, but, like, where did this energy come from? Like, getting down to the root of it. Like, what is the broader, like, you know, layers of the conversation? So, kind of gives you perspective, right? So, maybe we'll do that, so keep a heads up for that, and let me know if that's something, but I'm feeling that, yeah, I'm getting closer to doing a past life reading on the channel, but, in a general sense, like, they really, really have to work through something very specific until they're able to reunite with you, like, something very important, but not related directly to the relationship they have with you. So, but resolving whatever that is there will be really integral to them recalibrating, to them finding their own healing, to them finding their own connection to themselves, and then being able to connect with you directly. So it's kind of like they were maybe trying to connect to you on some plane, but they knew they couldn't because they were wearing too many clothes. I'm hearing that, too much clothing. So it's like, even if you kind of wanted and you felt like, yeah, take it as you will. No, I'm not saying that this is your twin flame. I gotta emphasize that. I'm hearing from guides that this is not necessarily a twin flame, but it's someone who has very specific soul contract. And what I'm getting is that they may be just like you, tapping into their feeling of wanting closure with you on some level. They realize that they want to have like a sense of peace and belonging. But yeah, so look, for some of you it may be a twin flame, possibly. Okay, but whatever, I mean, you would know for yourself, most likely, possibly. But it's also important to remember that it's about energy, and if you're feeling at any point in time drained by a connection, you shouldn't give energy and time to that, but take it as you will. For some of you though, yeah, this is whatever it is, it's a very particular soul contract. So now for some of you, I do see this person returning though, but after years of energy, so they need to move through something, like they really have to, I see their whole body, like they have to upgrade. Okay, they got all kinds of things, so that's okay. That's okay. So, but Spirit is saying, like, you don't have to necessarily be receptive, and yeah, it's not necessarily, and also I'm hearing, look at your birth chart, because you could be dealing with Neptune-Pluto contacts. So, and this is what I focus on in the private reading service that I've launched recently. Let's clear in the root chakra and the sacral chakra. Some of you were physical with this person, so you may want to do clearing, further clearing. Doesn't hurt, to clear them from your aura further. Especially if they, like, touched you. I'm hearing that. Or you guys, especially if they give you any kind of object or something like this. Take it as you will. No, but for some, yeah, this is what I focus on in the private reading. So if you're curious, I guess I'll mention that here as well. If you like a private reading one-on-one and you want to look at the energy side of the connection that you may be in, or however, then feel free to order that, alchemyinu.com. But otherwise, guys, in a general sense, like if you have strong Neptune contacts or Pluto contacts, let's clear in the third eye. Yeah, there's a lot of karma here, guys. I see it. It's a whole family. I'm hearing it's dynastic. It's not just you. It's like their whole family. I'm hearing that. Like here you are thinking like, I'm just dating Peter Pan. Fucking Peter Pan. No, you're not just dating Peter Pan. Peter Pan plus all of his parents. All of his parents. Oh my. You take it as you will. Yeah. So they all have an agenda, is what I'm getting. So anyways. For some of you are dealing with someone, their family is in a hurry to marry them. It's complete, it's a lot of different, wow. I'm curious. Yeah, I would like to do the past life reading at some point, guys. Maybe we'll do that. At some point. I'm feeling more and more guided. Yeah, guys. Hopefully this was helpful, this video. I felt guided to jump on. Definitely some messages from the guides here. And if it, if it's helpful, let me know. Feel free to comment, like, and yeah, guys, try to just stay grounded. This is getting heavy with the Neptune, so I know some people are definitely like feeling it, like what's going on, like why do I feel underwater? And so what are all these energies like touching on my aura? It's like we're on astral heavily right now. Like you're mostly operating like in the water realm energy, say in a simple way, like ether. So, and yeah, naturally a lot of people are also having that ascension energy. Yeah, so with that comes a lot of like triggers as well, and so they may be like just seeing more things, feeling a lot of things, and there are a lot of though as well, like indirectly felt energies projected even like from the people around the person you're with, is what I'm hearing. Again, it just keeps seeing someone's family here, like all their family members. It's like, bro, oh my god, it's more than what you bargained for originally. This is what I'm getting. But of course, like whatever whatever is meant to be. So yeah. Mandy Lynn, hello. Oh, only all of only all of what felt to be like fucking like, I'm hearing some Cairo. I'm hearing Cairo. Take it as you will. Take it as you will. I'm seeing like a group of people, like they're like in a line. I don't know. Let's clear it. I'm seeing like, I'm hearing letter R here. This is like a group of people. I'm hearing it's dynastic. Yeah, I see people in, like, they're standing in a line. So, honestly, it's, yeah, it's a huge illusion, though, because, well, in this dimension, because you don't see, like, that past life energy when you first meet them, and probably when you first met this person, you're not really, like, at the point then of maybe being so sensitive to the frequencies, we'll say. But over time, it's like, wait, bro, like, no, there's so much more going on. Like, for some of you, you're having dreams about their family. Oh my. This is interesting. Yeah, I said Cairo, right? C-A-I-R-O. Yeah. So, interesting. Well, this season of, yeah. Definitely pay attention to, like, the little things, of what maybe sort of like coming together as all the puzzle pieces of what you've been experiencing the last few years, of your activation ascension process. Like, if there's a very particular, like, specific soulmate contract that you've been working through around these times, there's something that may become illuminated about that. So I'm kind of reminded now of, I mentioned this before on the channel, like, there was a very particular interaction that I had that was huge for shadow work for me, and a huge sort of turning point when it came to, well, it was triggering, okay, for sure. So, and that connection was, you know, something that like, it was obvious that it was different, okay? So, and I've talked about this experience on the channel before, but anyways, I remember I had a dream of this person. This was years ago. This was when, like, we first, like, met, and they, like, yeah, okay. I had a dream about them and their family. Their whole family, like, showed up to, and I'm remembering this now, so this may be a message for some of you, like, if you feel like this really weird connection, like, it's, you're not just connecting to that person. When you meet that person, you're triggering their whole bloodline. This is what I'm hearing. Let's clear it. I'm hearing L-E, L-E, L-E. Yeah, whoa. I feel like I'm literally moving through, like, different timelines right now. Okay. So, well, we're gonna ground it. We're gonna clear it. It's clearing around, clearing around. It's clearing around, oh damn. I feel like I'm smelling different places around the world right now. Let's clear it. You know how certain cities have, like, a smell? I'm smelling, like, an ancient smell. It's weird, but yeah, it's clearing around. So, I guess the point is that Spirit is saying, like, I'm hearing looks can be deceiving. Okay. In the sense of, like, maybe when you first met this person, you thought that it was something very different, and that was what was deceiving about it, because you were thinking maybe, like, wow, maybe it's just that, you know, we had this moment, and then, but then that is the part that's challenging, okay? That's the part that's challenging for your spiritual body, because your spirit knows much more than your human mind has the capacity, okay, at certain points in time to how do we say, pursue knowledge for? Interesting. Like, your mind may not feel or realize the need to understand something. This is indirectly, like, metaphorically. So it doesn't quite grasp the consciousness that your spirit holds, that your spirit knows, which is where the conflict takes place when you're having, most likely as well, spiritual awakening, where it's like, I feel like this is way more significant. This is so significant. This person means a lot. I just feel it. I know it. There's something weird about this interaction, this person, this experience. But then your mind, like, shuts it down in some sense, and then you're, like, going kind of, you know, like a seesaw, okay, energetically, with trying to understand that experience. This is for some. Maybe you had an experience like this in the past. Maybe, yeah, that's a great way to put it. Pluto's Mercana. Hello, by the way. Spiritual oxymorons. Right. And so most likely it's experiences like that, or an experience like that. I'm seeing many of you maybe had a moment like that with someone very particular, okay, that kind of shook your world in the sense of how you connected your mind to your spirit. So, right, let's clear it. I'm hearing that that was an ultimately good experience, but it was deceiving in the sense of, like, you were trying to maybe even move on from that person, move out. For some of you, like, wow, it's almost as if you felt like you were in a relationship where you were interacting with more than that person. And it is true. It is true. You were dealing with so many levels and layers to what they are working through. I'm hearing that, wow. So when you meet some people, you meet what they move through. I'm hearing that, yeah. So let's clear it as well. So I'm hearing Ezra. I'm hearing I feel you. So yeah, there could be someone who also has a lot of spiritual work to do, and their higher self wants to tell you, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. So maybe we'll actually do a few readings, pick a cards. One definitely is a past life, and another is what their higher self wants to communicate to you. So hopefully we'll do that at some point. Yeah, definitely. Take advantage of these Pisces energies, right? Celebration of a 4-planet stellium. Yeah, how could we get through the season without doing a past life reading? So I feel like Spirit has been prepping for that though. Aw, I'm so happy to hear that, Pluto's Prana. So yeah, now and it may be that you have epiphanies and downloads as to the past life energies during this time. When it comes to something that you work through, maybe more karmically, from a more karmic perspective with yourself, where you're like, well, I'm doing my personal shadow work. Like, I'm doing my, I'm doing my personal sort of, I'm working through my personality function and features, maybe even my astrology. But you're more than as well your astrology is what I'm hearing. That's the template through which you're able to connect to your higher self in this dimension, from the perspective of the ego. So it's kind of like another dimension and layer further where you're like, okay, what exactly is it that we're working through karmically as a conversation? I'm hearing with the connections that are made in I'm hearing in Cairo. I'm hearing that again. So this is something very particular again, it seems. Let's clear. I'm hearing in the time space continuum. I'm hearing continuity. Some of you will meet this person again. Yeah, I'm seeing them astral projecting into another state of being. You will connect to them there. This is what I'm hearing. Okay, it sounds very abstract, but I'm actually seeing it. Like, I'm seeing their holographic state transforming over time. Like, they will project eventually. I hear that. And then you will sort of have a moment. I hear it like that. But hence the projection. Like, they're gonna have to project vibrationally, like in a different time space. So where they're able to really clear through their past. I hear it like that. So ironically, maybe you feel like they're moving backwards. Maybe you feel like they're moving back into like a denser frequency or vibration, but they need to do that to sort of work through the karma, okay, in the past life energy. So that's hence why it's not necessarily bad. There's no like really like bad karma or good karma. It's just, yeah, it's just the addressing. Let's go the addressing. So, but I feel like they're even traveling to your past lives together to even clear the karma in a very particular moment in the past. Wow, guys, this is weird. Woo, it's getting Neptune. I'm seeing dark energy here a bit. Let's go. So, it's like a little bit of that idea. Ooh, it's reminding me. We did an astro chat. Yeah, this was when it was another chat on Neptune, but from a totally different perspective. This was actually Neptune retro back in the summer. So, what I'm getting is that, yeah, you guys remember we were talking about this. I was outside and I was saying, you guys know, and sometimes you're not talking to someone for a while, and then, maybe it's your sister, your brother, your family member, whatever it is, and then you call them or you eventually talk and you're like, whoa, what if like all this time that we weren't talking, like you didn't exist? And then when we were like talking, then you sort of like you incarnate in a way. It's almost like, where do you go like when we're not together? Yeah, so I'm kind of seeing like, in a way, they're transiting, they're doing some time travel, okay, to move back into another dimension possibly for some, and then move into the present with you, but at a so-called later point in time. So what? Okay, let's clear it. Like, they're not here right now. Like, they need, yeah, like, I'm hearing Greek. They're fucking in Greece right now, guys. Like, they got, oh man, I gotta wear the toga, I gotta do that shit all over again. Like, they're in another lifetime here now. Let's clear it. So hopefully this is like helpful, guys, and not just like a whole load of Neptune. It's clear. Yeah, I'm hearing they're going through the wormhole. Oh man. Like, I'm literally seeing someone wearing like a whole like outfit. Let's clear. It's like, I gotta be back. I'm hearing that. I'm hearing Bethania, Bethany, Bethania. They could be doing some sort of past life regression. Yeah, it can be. It can be that. But I'm seeing time traveling, yeah. So. But you may feel it, like, maybe it's a metaphor for some, like, you feel that they're not there, like, kind of vibe. Like, aw, man, you gotta go back to, like, grade school? Alright, bye, bro. See you later. It's, like, the equivalent, maybe, of that. Yeah. Alright. So we'll ground it, guys. We'll clear it. Hopefully, again, this is helpful. Is this helpful? Or this is gonna be a reading, like, wake up morning after style, like, what? But usually, even if it's a bit abstract, there's a reason. Feel guided to jump on, of course. Channel message, of course. Yeah. So... awesome, guys. Okay, great. Yeah, sometimes when I'm in the channeled state, it's like, where are we? You know, like, but that's because, yeah, then that's exactly maybe what's going on in a way, like the logical mind. Okay, so it's a little bit like you're both in the terminal in the airport, like, but as two people in time, but like in different ways. And like, on one hand, for some of you, this is what may feel to be like a twin flame situation. So it's kind of like you feel them going through their transformations. You feel them going through like time and space, like yeah, you feel it, but then you know that you cannot be there to really do that for them or with them. Like, yeah, I see that real clearly for some of you. I'm seeing like it's another version of you in a way, or a very, very strong soulmate. I see that. But like, you still got walkie-talkies. It's like, man, it's like you just pick up on like a little bit of white noise every now and then. Like, they're not literally calling you like, hey, like, it's me from like Greece, hello. It's like, you just hear a little bit of like crackling, like, shh, shh, shh. You're hearing people talking in Greek in the background. It's like, you pick up the radio receiver. It's like, are you talking to me, bro? Like, what? Yeah, it's something like that, guys. It's kind of, oh my god. But like, yeah, it's, I'm here, you will eventually understand. Like, once, yeah. But it's not even comprehensible, and it's also not meant to be. I'm hearing that. Let's backtrack. For some of you, you don't understand this person, what they're going through, and that's okay as well. That's fine. For some of you, they may even have a walk-in. Yeah. So that could be what we're sort of picking up on. Spirit guides. I feel this may be a situation where they are going to have some sort of like massive awakening. So they're not really fully incarnate. I hear that. They're definitely in another timeline. I see this for some of you. Oh, I don't know what. Oh my god. I feel like so many people would be like, what is this? I repeat, what is this? Anyways, it's all good. It's okay, right? Oh, Mandy. Okay, so Mandy, you know. Mandy says, my twin flame has a walk-in. Can you explain this concept a little bit? Because I feel like this is going to be a major theme for many. Like, your twin flame is not, like, in a way, like, I'm hearing from spirit, like, they're not here right now. Like, you're watching, but then you get the astral, you pick up on the astral debris, but just because you are sort of, like, both in the same airport, but you're, how do we say, like, you're doing the same thing, but, like, not. Ugh, it's weird. I feel like it's a mind bender. Yeah, it is, but that's the point. Because you're trying to understand it. Like, you are, how do we say it? I wish I could draw it out. So, you have moments that are sort of like in parallel, and then you have moments, yeah, where you move in tandem, and then you have moments where you separate, and then you are moving sort of inversely. It's like imagine like a heart monitor, like it goes like, you see how you have the inverse, even like the moon cycle. So it's like you're in the new moon phase of the relationship, and then you're in the full moon phase. So I don't know, guys. Spirit is really sort of handing over these downloads, it seems. You super nebulous, right? Oh, interesting, Mandy. So you're already aware, okay? Mandy says we will not connect. Okay, so I'm seeing that this is an intentional walk-in. I don't see it as a hijacking to answer that. Pluto's my prana. It's part of the soul contract. But for some of you, you're like, where did you go, bro? It's like he's still in, like, it's so weird. I'm seeing past lifetimes as like programs that are opened up as like tabs on a computer, like a video game almost kind of vibe. But it's not a game. It's serious. Like, you know, they're like, bro, I'm in Greece right now. Chill. Like, I'll be there. It's good, but I see it as a past life energy for some. Take it as you will. But they're needing to be there, like, it's assisting you in some way. Maybe they're even, like, feeding you some kind of downloads, possibly, from another timeline. Oh my god, guys, the energy is getting very... I'm hearing creepy. Are some of you creeped out? So, now, I'm hearing mostra, that means show us. 7717 on the clock, there are 77 likes. Mostra, I'm hearing that. That means in Italian, not nostra, which is like ours, but mostra. Like show it. He can go in and out of timelines. Wow, very interesting, Mandy. Yeah, I'm seeing some dark energy here. For some of you, they may be shape-shifting. Taking on different roles. I'm hearing on different planets even, I'm seeing that. Okay. What do you think the purpose is of doing that? Like, what do you feel with that, Mandy? In terms of, like, the twin flame concept. Because I'm kind of getting that, like, actually it's something that is, like, it's definitely, it's like, this person is, like, your spiritual sibling kind of vibe. Like, they want to help you, possibly, but... Okay, that's clear. I keep seeing something with being in Greece. Maybe they have something they need to deliver to you. I'm hearing from another lifetime, from a prior lifetime. So they gotta go and, like, fetch it, but they gotta shift timelines. I'm hearing that. Oh my god. It may be more like past life regression, though, for some. Like, they need to heal something, you know? And I feel like it's gonna be in different ways. Let's put it down the back. So yeah, guys. Evidently there's a lot going on. So try not to judge what's happening right now. I'm seeing that as well. It's usually never good to judge during a heavy Neptune cycle because it's usually just more than what meets the eye. With what's going on. Aries season will be very different, I'm hearing that. Very different. Like, it'll be more like kind of literal in translation. We'll definitely be like kind of coming back into so-called like grounded reality. We may look back on this Pisces season and be like, what the hell was that? Where did I go? It's like something like, you know, like really, really sort of a little wonky, a little bit out there. Maybe your thoughts, maybe your vibes, your visions, but even in a great way, like your creativity may be at an all-time high during this period. But yeah, you may look kind of back on this period and be kind of from your Aries future self, like, wow, kind of like maybe even a little bit in wonder of like, wow, how did I get there? I'm hearing that as well. So it could be, you know, a number of ways, like maybe you moved through certain dimensions and you're aware of that. Interesting. You know those moments when you're like, whoa, I was really on like a wavelength. Yeah, I'm seeing that, so. Not in like a negative way or a positive way per se, but just more neutral. Like, wow, okay, I was in a vibe, so. Okay. Mandy says, walk-ins are souls that walk into a person that has either chose to go back, and the walk-in will take over the body and live the rest of the lifetime. Mandy, so do you feel like they may have shifts? Like, they may return in that same body? Because I'm kind of seeing for some that there may be, like, it's in stages, but it depends, like, what you see as this lifetime. So it's all kind of, okay, I feel like Spirit's saying the point is, like, this, this is more than meets the eye. So if you're picking up our projected energies right now, and you're having all kinds of weird visions, like, yeah, it's not something that is not true, and it's also not something that is necessarily so-called relevant to you in this moment that you need to do something about. But for some of you, your spirit guides, I'm hearing that, and also maybe your really strong soulmates in Twin Flame can be communicating to you, giving you some sort of downloads or messages from another dimension. For some of you, you met in this dimension, you clicked to then be able to initiate that initial correspondence point, and then you had a moment maybe of separation, and they are traveling, I hear that again, so yeah, however it is, to meet with you, but in another dimension. So it's like, kind of like they're running ahead. Yeah, can be. Like, I'm hearing, if we were to meet in this point in time, then we wouldn't be able to meet there, where we really need to get to. I hear it like this. So it's kind of like, proverbially, like, you throw the ball and, like, they're gone, but they're running to catch your ball, if that makes sense. This came from the Leo reading. Well, this can even be, in a number of ways, this concept may manifest, like, metaphorically, but, this can even be from a past lifetime. Maybe it is that in this lifetime you do reunite physically. So thanks guys for tuning in. Love and light. Anything else? It's clearing around. It's an illusion that they're running away from you. I'm hearing that. Yeah. There's a lot of twin flame stuff here going on. Wow. Yeah, you definitely, in a way picking up also on the fact that they are transcending and that they are moving through karma. I hear that. So yeah. There's so many dimensions, let's say in this 3D paradigm, they're avoiding you, I hear that. But in some way they're actually, for some of you, literally they're in another dimension. So I don't know what that's about. They're time traveling. Okay. That's fair. They're time traveling. And I'm hearing they're picking up the pieces where they left off, so. But that may be something that you in a way, it's like, again, literally, so you threw a ball to them, but to them in another tense, in another place and time, so, yeah. I see them running through another timeline. It's kind of, you know what it reminds me of? Whoa, I just saw a star right there. Like a really bright star. For some of you, Yeah, I'm seeing like stars here, so take it as you will. I'm hearing they remember you. I hear that. Okay. So what were we saying? What were we saying? For some of you, oh, it reminds me of what are those shows where like you have to go through the whole like it's not a race, but it's kind of like what is like you have to like crawl through the tube, then you have to jump over the hoop, and then you gotta go like then you gotta hand the baton over to the second teammate. It's like something like that. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's some kind of like obstacle course or something like this. An obstacle course, but I see them moving back, but maybe perceptively you perceive that as moving back, but then they are actually moving towards the future. Like I see it's not really linear. Oh man, we're having another one of these combos. Let's clear relay, right, Mandy. Okay. Like they're kind of going, but then it's like, but yeah, we did a reading like this. I think it was a Capricorn reading. We did a Cap reading. It was we accidentally typed like the year in the title as like 4044 or something. It was something really out there. And it was this subject matter. So anyways, I feel like point being there's a lot going on, there's a lot you're picking up on, there's a lot that they are, yeah, but this is a very fine line. I feel like because we're moving through a lot of different aspects of this, like some people are not going to necessarily be able to show up to tell you like, yeah, that's what I'm going through. Okay. Some people may. Some people may. But if they're very much in the so-called shadow, okay, for some, like, yeah, so, I feel like we're moving through the whole universe right now with this conversation, oh my god. Let's clear it, but yeah, it's hard because you don't have distinction, like, let's clear the energy. For some, I feel like you do have something that you know you're talking about with this person, but it's not enough to have a real conversation. Spirit is saying, don't worry, don't bother yourself. Ground your energy, especially if you're feeling this person, but they're not showing up, is what I'm hearing. So, anything else? Anything? For some of you, they're not sure how to approach you. Maybe it is that they are going to be coming back in. For some of you, maybe they were time traveling and now they're coming back in. I know this sounds very abstract, but, and again, it could be metaphorical. Maybe they're doing shadow work, however, but they're definitely clearing things. That's what they're clearing things. I'm hearing Ross. I'm hearing something about Roman here. Let's clear the energy around again. Yeah, so I'm hearing it's complicated. It's complicated. For some of you, the important thing, though, is that you don't need to understand where they're at. So regardless. So, alright, guys, we'll see you in the next readings. Thank you for tuning in here to you. Let's clear the energy and ground again. Try to really actually keep grounded, like, actively during this time. I know we say that a lot in general, but, like, seriously, actually, when we have so many planets in Pisces, if you are as well someone who does have a lot in Pisces, you want to, you know, really take care of your physical body as well during this time, and remember to focus on how you actually feel in 3D, not just on 5D, not just on, you know, even if, let's say, you're an empath, a light worker, or you're a tarot reader, however, a spiritualist. I'm hearing a Tai Chi master, okay, if you're especially working with the people in that space, remember that you also exist in this time, and you're here for you as well. So give time to really work on your own personal healing as well at this time, especially when it comes to integrating the physical body with the healing you're doing in 5D. Let's clear it. And other dimensions. Let's clear the energy. I'm hearing trust that wherever it is that, for some of you, I see you're very concerned with someone very particular. Okay. Be it a real strong soulmate, twin flame, here, try not to concern yourself with where they're at and with the actual conversation or the communication. They will communicate to you when they're available to do so in the way that they need to do so. Okay. So yeah, and if they're not, yeah, they need, yeah. It's kind of like they are having a simultaneous conversation when it comes to what they need to move through karmically, so they're not available. Yeah, it's kind of like they're already focused on maybe their family, maybe they have something karmic going on. Yeah, so don't take it personally, definitely is what I'm hearing as well, and try to remain grounded in this space where you may pick up on the I'm hearing again, astral residue or debris of what they maybe wished would have happened, but that's their ego because it's the soul contract to experience this connection from this point in time in this way. But let's clear it. I'm here to try to have compassion for what their choice is. I hear that as well. What they're deciding to clear. And really, whoever is here on planet Earth at this time, it takes bravery. There's a lot that's going on karmically that we're all moving through, so to be here is, yeah, it takes a lot, to say it in a way, and everyone is making their karmic decisions, so again, have understanding for where people have moved to when it comes to making this karmic jump. And you may understand this person on some plane, but then sometimes you feel like, wow, are they like kind of judging me? I'm hearing that as well, or no, not necessarily. They're not judging you, maybe on 3D, but it's never just that. So try to just keep it in mind and know that there's a lot more that's going on beneath the surface, much more beyond what we see with a naked so-called eye. Okay, eyes. And yeah, I'm hearing it's not up to you to teach them who they need to be. Let's clear, because yeah, yet again, it's not about the schedule of the talk. I hear that. Maybe even on like a physical plane. So yeah, because what is conversation? You could say you're talking to this person or anyone else, right? Even if you're not physically talking. So maybe it's that, you know, there's no rush, there's no hurry, there's no need to meet in 3D and physical. So it may be helpful to sort of see it from that vantage point as well, like everything is in divine timing, so-called. Timing doesn't exist. So it's energy, and allowing everything to just go where it needs to go, flow where it needs to flow, let people move to where they need to move to, right? Let people learn their lessons at the pace they need to learn them at, and let them release what they need to release at the time they need to release that at. Let's clear. And I'm hearing ultimately let them get to where they need to go. So yeah, guys, I'm hearing let them get clear on their past, on their path as well. And for some of you, I'm hearing something about their parents, someone's parents. Maybe they don't realize their karma, and yet again, have understanding. Wow, it almost, I saw the ceiling kind of splitting. So it could be a message. Maybe for some of you feel like you know that there's a lot of shifting happening here energetically, but at the same time, okay, this is not necessarily defining you in 3D, so it's really important to step away from what this experience feels like in 3D and to come back into the conversation with you and allowing you to really create what you need to create in this space as well. Because if you're focused on that person or that energy space, the conversation, you're gonna feel distracted. So the point is, again, grounding and letting that conversation happen the way it needs to happen. So and your potential is also in your hands.